Hello, Slasher Report. I bet this isn't the call you were expecting today, but someone told me you've been very bad. And now it's our time to play.
Hey, welcome to the Slasher Report, and today we're going to go over the spoiler review of Scream 7, and what I would like to say is what could have been with the mockers, right? So we're going to go over this right now. So, first I just want to say, what in the actual hell happened with this movie, right? Like, I will say though, it was absolutely incredible in its own right. And obviously, the reveal was extremely disappointing, right? We got 3 random individuals that has no ties or anything to Sydney or any of the characters. But that's something unique and different, which I respect. And, you know, these particular killers got to use the AI technology, which is what we do now in day-to-day, you know. And it's just like, yeah, it's cool, whatever, the concept was there, but they still kind of failed the concept in a way. Like, they could have done more with it, is what I mean. And we should have got more screen time with Jessica and Sydney, especially with Jessica's son and then, you know, Sydney and her daughter. Like, there definitely could have been a really good, strong connection with that. But I understand why they didn't at the same time, because they really wanted us as the audience and the characters in the movie at the same time to make us believe that it was Stu Macher. And oh, how dare you make us think that it was Stu Macher and actually not be Stu Macher. It is literally the #1 fan request. Besides the Stu fans, the Stu trains, like, yeah, people want to see him back because he was not shot in the head, and it's very questionable for him if he's actually dead, because I don't know, I guess you can survive a TV getting falling on your head, you know? And even Matthew Lillard himself has always stated that his character Stu Macher is alive, and like, I don't know, Kevin Williams said, like, what are you doing? Right? Like, if you hear it, you know you hear us as fans wanting this to be the story, but you're not giving us the story. And instead, you literally teased all of us. You blue-balled us. 100% blue-balled us, thinking that Stu Macher was going to come back, and then he wasn't. After everything that is said, the reveal, very lackluster. It was, oh my God, it was just, but it was still something fresh, and it was unique, and I respect that in a way, because I consider this film a good film. I consider it one of the better Scream films. I honestly would consider it better than Scream 5 and 6, because Scream 5 and Scream 6 was literally recycled content. Scream 5 was literally Scream 1. I get it was a requel, quote unquote. And then Scream 6 was literally another recycled motive and from Scream 2. So give us something fresh, give us something new. And oh yeah, they did that with Scream 7, but not in the way that the fans wanted. With this story, a lot of people were wondering what the hell was even the point of the ending. Like, what was that motive? Anyway, the motive made no sense. Well, here's what I gather from the motive is that Jessica was inspired by Sid's book Out of Darkness from Scream 4 and found the courage like Sydney did, and Jessica killed her abusive husband, right? But her icon being Sydney stopped with Out of Darkness and tried to avoid Ghostface attacks and have a normal life with her family. And that's where the motivation and inspiration stopped with Jessica. It felt like her role model gave up. And that short fused in her brain, going absolutely cuckoo because she's obsessed and psychotic. So the only way to get Sydney back is to bring back Ghostface again. And her version of back into darkness, if you will, right? Only Sydney refused and did everything she could by always hiding from it, hiding from the past and sheltering her daughter. So the only way for Jessica at this point was to make Tatum, which is Sydney's daughter, to become the new fighting role model that Jessica always wanted from Sydney, that Jessica needs and is obsessed with. And at that point is to kill Sydney since she failed in Jessica's eyes. So that was literally how the motive was presented, and it kind of explained, right at the end there, and yeah, okay, cool, whatever. It's fresh, it's unique. I take that over Scream 5 and Scream 6, so it's one of the better Scream films. I will give it that. But what, like, why? Just why, right? That's the big question, is why. I would never have imagined that they would actually do this. That, for me personally, I'm a Stu Macher fan. I'm part of the Stu train, right? And yeah, sure, I know there's the other half of it where people just say, hey man, just let it go, Stu Macher's dead. That's cool, but to present it that way with this film, where like in the writing, like that the one killer at the end where he literally tells Cindy, but kind of is like telling us at the same time. It's like, yeah, Stu's dead. Really? That's how you're gonna go about, by telling us? But here's the thing. After the movie, Matthew Lillard and some of the cast members went to Tampa, Florida for the Scream 7 Aftermath panel. And Matthew Lillard did state that, hey man, my character is still alive. Stu Macher is still alive. And the events of what happened in Scream 7 is literally just continuation of bringing forth the idea that Stu Macher is alive and leading up for Scream 8. That's literally what he said, coming out of his own words during the panel. And I gathered that actually from Sister Pam. So big shout out to Sister Pam for being there and recording that. I'll give a link to her YouTube down below. She's also part of the Stu Train, wonderful content creator. She was involved with a lot of the events from Paramount that she was invited to. So definitely check out her channel. But that's a huge excitement and hope that, you know, with Scream 8, if Stu Macher's still alive and he was just literally behind the scenes, just having his cult, which was what we saw in Scream 7, do the thing, and, you know, Stu being behind the scenes watching and observing and getting ready for the showdown in Scream 8, that would make this film even better to my eyes, right? I think for a lot of us fans as well. Which honestly though, like, yeah, it should have been Stu in this film, but hey, you know, if he's coming for Scream 8, then I will accept this even better with Scream 7. There's one other thing I wanted to point out too, before diving in further into this, is that in the first reveal of AI Stu Macher, you know, in the phone sequence there, it was very, very significantly different from the other videos of those other AI videos of Stu Macher. And I don't know if that was intentional or just sloppy writing or whatever have you, but a lot of other people said the same thing, has brought this up, which was really surprising to see so many people have noticed the same thing, where this quote-unquote AI version of Stu Macher in the first video revealed to Sydney, he was actually moving around, not just moving like person, but the camera and everything was literally him moving around this whole area and stuff in front of the high school. And it's like, and his persona, his characteristics and everything, and the way he was talking and everything, the speech was completely different from the rest of the videos that we get to see of him afterwards. Which a lot of people, including myself, is starting to wonder, is the first video actually Stu Macher being alive, and then the other videos is just the AI slop that we got? But we won't know unless if there is some kind of writing done to present itself and answer those questions with Scream 8. Here's the thing, like, yeah, they kind of told us in Scream 7 that Stu's dead, but is he really? Because we also didn't get clarification when, before they got inside that hospital scene, Sydney and Gail said, we looked up into the death of Stu Macher in the body, that, you know, going to the morgue, but they couldn't identify it because the person that was in charge was dead and the files were missing. So they never did get clarification if that body truly is Stu Macher that's buried or not. And the killers at the end with the reveal never stated that either, never even mentioned that. So it could be a possibility they literally left that window open, that door open for that possibility. Call it sloppy writing, I don't know, but they left it open, which gives us even kind of a hope and possibility that Stu Macher is in fact alive, and that he might come back for Scream 8. If you're bringing back Matthew Lillard like this, and Matthew Lillard says that his character's alive and he wants to come back, and Scream 8 is officially going forward, most likely going to start filming this fall of 2026. It might happen. You know what I mean? This might happen. This might be the film. We're getting this whole story and sequence built up for the actual reveal in Scream 8, but maybe not. But here's the thing, right? I titled this as The Mockers, What Could Have Been, but also as a spoiler review, because I get the neighbor, the obsession and all that stuff that we talked about earlier with Jessica, the character. But dude, if you're not gonna bring back Stu Macher alive, Jessica, the character, should have been Leslie Macher. It should have been Leslie Macher to make this story so much better, to actually make it a worthy story. We talked about Leslie Macher. She was brought up in Scream 5. Her son was killed by a ghost face in Scream 5. We've talked about this in my channel for a whole month in separate videos, that it makes actual sense that, hey, this film is Scream 7. Leslie is fed up. She's done, right? She's going to burn this Macher house down. She's going to burn it all down. That was literally the whole quote through the whole campaign. I'm going to burn everything down. Dude, like, that could have been Leslie Macher saying, I'm done with it all. I'm tired of you putting a bad, staple to my name, tarnishing it and talking about, my dead brother. And, so I'm going to burn it all down. I'm going to get rid of you, Sid. I'm going to get rid of Tatum because my son is dead because of you. So I'm going to take care of your daughter. Dude, that would have been perfect. Like, how is it that the fans could come up with a better story than this? And why are they not listening to the fans? Why are they listening to Matthew Lillard? The man wants to come back as Stu Macher alive, and it's possible. In the Scream lore, it literally states that you gotta shoot him in the head or they keep coming back. They say that numerous times in Scream 7. I don't get it. Because when it comes to the writing, obviously Scream 7 was supposed to be something completely different, right? It was supposed to be a continuation after Scream 6 with the original cast, but because of the events of what happened, it had to undergo a completely different direction in the story. However, how much of that story was changed? I mean, obviously a significant amount, right? But how much of the original concept was kept? Because the story itself was kept by James and Guy Busick, if that's how I pronounce his name correctly. But the screenplay was rewritten by Kevin Williamson, still keeping some of the formality from Guy Busick that was supposed to be of Scream 7. But also, a lot of the story was added in with the help of Neve Campbell for her role as the mother figure for Tatum and the main focus on that. So it's kind of like 3 different story ideas kind of crammed together, maybe 4. And I know with the change, it underwent a major $500,000 plus rewrite after the events of what happened behind the scenes from Scream 6. So, but that was 3 years ago, right? That was back in 2023. This is 2026. So that was literally 3 years ago. Or I guess you could say 2 years ago, because you're right, you had to write the film. You had to write the film first and then make the film. So I would say like 2 years time. You had 2 years to write the actual story. Because when Christopher Landon was originally hired to direct the 7th film, he was supposed to take charge of the story as well. But due to the threats and everything like that towards him and his family, which was completely ridiculous, he left the project, and then there goes another story rewrite. So the Saint had a couple story rewrites already after what happened in Scream 6, after the events behind the scenes. So how much of this story was really thought through? How much of this was written in a new concept and originality compared to what we would have gotten in Scream 7? Because we have Guy Busick tied into the story and tied into the screenplay, as well as Kevin Williamson tied into the screenplay as well. James and Guy Busick, the writers of Scream 5 and Scream 6, didn't care or had any of the idea to bring back Stu Macher, right? They just did a little tease because they saw that the fans really was driven for it. They really had hopes for it, but he was not going to be part of Scream 7 in its original concept, right? So could this new story that we got in Scream 7 had any kind of bad luck ties to that original story concept from Guy Busick and James that were just kind of thrown into this? Because they're credited for the story for this in some way and fashion. I don't know exactly how. Maybe they're just credited for that because they have to be, because they had to get paid for it and a canceled contract with the writing, but they still get credit for it. I don't know. I truly don't know, but I do know that the new story, obviously, and it was written by Kevin Williamson as well, plus Nev Campbell. But is it 100% their story and written by them? I don't know. We don't know, because it's credited by the two other writers from Scream 5 and Scream 6, so it's really hard to know how much of the story really is in there from them. You know what I mean? What the hell happened with this story in Scream 7? Like I said, I still thoroughly enjoyed it. I still found it better than Scream 5 and Scream 6, considering they were completely different writers, right? And we had Kevin Williamson and Nev Campbell writing a big portion of this. I still found this story and the movie good, but it could have been a hell of a lot better. I think we all agreed on that, and the reveal was not what we wanted at all, not at all. It should have been Stu Macher, or if not Stu Macher, it should have been Leslie Macher. If you're gonna bring back Billy and like this little ghost, force ghost, Obi-Wan Kenobi things in 5 and 6, then dude, like you could bring back, you could do something better with Stu Macher. I don't know. What do you guys think? Let me know let me know in your comments down below. I'm still trying to wrap my head around this. I watched the film for a second time. I'm actually gonna go and see it for a third time because I thoroughly enjoyed it, and I would like to still try and grasp an understanding of what am I watching. Like, what's going on? Like, is it gonna change for me if I watch it for a third time with how I feel about this movie? Because right now, I feel like this movie is absolutely incredible in its own right. It truly is. I feel like this movie is incredible in its own right. You have to agree, it's better than some of the others, right? It has to be. I mean, if you think about it, Scream 7 has made $100 million at the box office worldwide in its opening weekend. Right? With Scream 8 now going forward with the potential shooting this fall. And because of that, Scream is now officially a $1 billion franchise. And I love that. That's huge. Because I want to see the continuation of Ghostface. I want to see the continuation of Scream as it should be. We're finally getting some really good numbers in with, now going into the 7th Scream movie, and pretty soon we'll be getting an 8th Scream movie. Now it's becoming a legendary franchise along with Friday the 13th, Nightmare on Elm Street, and Halloween. I mean, it always has been, but we're finally getting to see some numbers, some like sequels, and majority of the sequels are great. They really are. It's better than Nightmare on Elm Street Dream Child. Is better than Friday the 13th Jason Goes to Hell, right? So this isn't too much of a doozy compared to some of the other franchise movies sequels, right? So we have to give it that. Another thing I want to mention about the movie as a spoiler is the beginning sequence. A lot of people were saying, what the hell was the beginning sequence? You could have literally taken that out and it would have not affected the rest of the movie. Yeah, theoretically, I suppose it wouldn't affect it at all, but there was a purpose, right? Because when the killer called Sydney and wanted to do that AI thing with Stu Macher, if anybody could have done that and she would have not taken that seriously, but because there is the background of the fact that Stu Macher's house was burnt down and there's 2 killings, and then obviously with the killing at the high school, whatever, in a way is trying to help make Sydney and Gail and everybody try to be convinced and believe that Stu Macher is alive, and maybe they tried to lure some of the people away from Pine Grove to Woodsboro, but obviously that distraction failed as Gail showed up to help Sydney instead of going over to Woodsboro. The intro was still cool. The opening was pretty cool. I'll give it that. Burned it down Stu Macher house without Stu Macher alive in this film, or without Leslie Macher. That's another issue. That's a big issue. How dare you do something like that? Like I said, it would have made sense if it was Leslie Macher burning down the house. She's fed up with all that crap, dude. Like, she's fed up with it, bro. I just have, it's just, for me, I can't dwell on it too much. I just have to accept the story as it is. And because the action, the whole movie itself, if you ignore the motive, if you ignore the killer reveals, the whole movie is pretty good. It really is. It was like nonstop action. There was a lot of really good chase scenes. There was 2 major lawn chase scenes, which was in the house, right after high school. It was throughout the house. That was a long chase scene of like the house invasion at night and then Ghostface getting killed. That was a pretty long sequence. There was nonstop Ghostface chase sequence in the house. And then the second one was literally like going into the final act, the third act, which was the bar scene, starting from the bar scene actually, and then going to chase Tatum, and then leading right up to the end of the movie. That was a whole big ass sequence. Like, that's crazy, right? That was a long chase scene, honestly. And I thought it was really cool. Obviously, we didn't get enough Ghostface talk in this again, because Scream 6, we didn't really get that either. Scream 5, we did. I'll give it that, because Scream 5 I consider good. It is good too. But then there was definitely some Ghostface talking that. And if you're gonna use AI, if you're gonna do that AI round and stuff like that, then you better give me some Ghostface lines. I mean, some serious engagement, some conversations and stuff. There could have been a lot of things that could have been better. That what could have been, obviously, which was the whole point of this video here. And I'd like to know what your comments on what could have been as well. If you agree with that, if you agree with anything what I'm saying, if the Machers, there should have been the Machers, if you think it could have been Stu Macher or Leslie Macher, or after all said and done, do you think there's still a possibility that, we could get Leslie Macher for Scream 8? Because she's still out there somewhere. She can't just be sitting there watching the news, rocking in her chair, saying, son of a bitch, here we go again. Like, she can't just be sitting there, just chilling, right? She's gotta be getting upset. Her son died, her brother's been dead, and the house is burned down. I mean, how much more you gotta keep pushing her, right? I mean, come on, she's gotta start coming to the light here. She's gotta start making it to one of these Scream movies. And it better not be a victim, I swear. But I don't know. There might be a huge... I mean, at this point with Scream 8, who else could it be? If you're gonna make a Scream 8, if it's literally greenlit and we're going into Scream 8 and they're gonna start filming in the fall, what else can you do at this point? It's confirmed Dewey's dead. We had hopes that Dewey might come back. He's dead, right? I don't know. Stu Macher is 50-50 still. It's still 50-50. If you want to put the nail in the coffin, then have Kevin Williamson flat out look at us right now after Scream 7, look in the camera and say, he's dead. Then I would believe it. You know what I mean? But I don't believe it. I still feel like, as Matthew Lillard feels, that Stu Macher is still alive, that there's still a possibility that he could come back for Scream 8. If it's not him, it could be Leslie Macher for Scream 8. If not those two, who else? Like, what else can you do at this point? This isn't Michael Myers, right? This isn't Jason Voorhees. This isn't Freddy Krueger. This is a random person every single time. And for all these films, not one movie has been the same killer. We were hoping that this will be a cliffhanger where Ghostface survives and makes it to Scream 8. Maybe it is Stu Macher. Maybe he is the one that, was behind the scenes of Scream 7, and we get to understand that with Scream 8. Oh man, I really hope. I mean, fingers crossed, because it would help the wounds with what happened with Scream 7. It really would. You know what I mean? It would make sense. If not, like, come on. Like, who else you got? What else can you come up with at this point? Honestly, that would please the fans. You know what I'm saying? And that would make sense for not even just to please the fans, but that makes sense of the story, of the plot, of the whole purpose of a Scream film, right? Because a lot of us fans were not pleased with what the results was with Scream 7. Again, it was a great film, but the reveal and the motive, it was definitely one of the worst, but it was unique and fresh, and I accept it. It was different. It wasn't recycled like Scream 5 or 6, right? It wasn't a boyfriend killer. It wasn't the family seeking revenge. We've already done that with Scream 1, Scream 2. This was something fresh and different, but it was weak. It was weak. It was weak. It was weak. And there were a bunch of nobodies, which was kind of cool because, it's psychotic, and it's scary. You don't know, right? It's the formality of the unknown, but there's so much I could talk about, but like, I'm gonna try and keep it short with this video. I mean, short as in 30 minutes, whatever. I mean, I could go on forever with this, and I'm going to start doing some live streams on this too, and just really get in depth and talk with everybody about this. But definitely leave a comment. Let me know your thoughts on all this, what you think could have been, what you think could be, what you think could have fixed this movie, if you feel like this movie needed fixing, or if you absolutely loved the movie. Let me know either way. If you're new to the channel, smash that subscribe button. Love to have you here. We cover all things horror with movies and video games, and we're going to be going over so much more content with Scream 7 and any information now with Scream 8. That is my review for Scream 7. That's how I feel about it. Like I said, 3 out of 5, 4 out of 5 stars. It all really depends there. Definitely could have been better with the ending. Definitely could have been better with the motive. Definitely could have been better with the characters. Could have been it should have been Stu Macher. It should have been Leslie Macher. I don't know what they're doing. And God help us if it's not any of those for Scream 8, because what do you do at this point? I don't know. Leave a comment, / a like. All the support is absolutely wonderful. Y'all been absolutely amazing for the whole month of February. We've absolutely killed it. We did, oh my God, so many wonderful engagements and videos, and with the channel growing, it's been absolutely incredible. I want to just say, I want to thank you all so much. I love you all so much for that. And I can't wait for what this year is going to bring for the Slash Report. And until next time,
Keep your doors locked and leave the lights on. This is the Slash Report, and I bid you farewell.